NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever, so if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck yeah attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhigelan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! Back in the can for another edition of the Lunatic Fringe podcast, and talking to somebody that's in a lot warmer weather than I am right now. Let's just get straight to it. Who the fuck are you, and what do you do?
Okay, hi. My name is Anna Muller. I am from Australia, currently based in Australia at the moment. I am a skydiving and especially wingsuiting enthusiast. So when I have spare time, I organize skydiving or wingsuiting skills camps. That's just a spare activity I do. In the real world, I'm actually a registered nurse. I like to make sure my community is well taken care of. Your listeners who are wingsuiters may have heard of me, possibly through wingsuit camps I've organized. But we'll see.
So that's got to be kind of weird, because that's two professions that sadly enough go hand in hand. I mean, skydivers and nurses, we get to know nurses very well in that mix. So is it weird being both? Like, do you have a bunch of jumpers always coming up going, hey, this hurts or that aches, or can you check this or that?
I do. I get that a lot. I seem to be people's go to for yeah. Oh, I've had a tummy ache for a while. Help, please. Uh, but whenever I'm at work, like in the hospital, I'm very good at switching off when I leave work. So when someone asks me a nursing question outside of work, I'm like, oh, got to think back to nursing, like back to thinking about my real job. Yeah, I'm very good at switching off and just enjoying the moment, being a skydiver. But look, if they need hands on, if they need some help, I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll
fair
happily
enough.
yeah.
Now, when you're in the nursing, does what you do outside of it come up? Like, do the people that you work with know that you're completely mental and you're jumping out of airplanes in wingsuits?
I do actually try to keep that on the down low because, when I first started, as everyone, when they do the AFF, you just want to tell everyone. So I told a couple of people, and the natural answer is, oh my gosh, why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Blah, blah, blah. So I've kept it on the down low since then. And if people ask me what I do outside of work, I have a couple of other activities, but I don't name skydiving very often unless I become quite close friends with them through work. It's just the same answer, and then I do usually have to answer a lot more questions after that because it's such an unknown activity. So a lot of the time I just go to work, get my work done at the hospital, make sure my patients are well taken care of. If I have a chat in the tea room, it's lovely, but I don't usually bring up skydiving because I end up having to you know, open a can of worms.
Yeah, it really, I mean, I know exactly how you feel. It was very obvious the further that I got into the sport, the less likely that I was to bring up the subject of skydiving because it's literally like popping your reserve in the middle of a busy coffee shop. It's going to take some time to pack this shit back up.
Agreed. Yeah, that's true. I have a few more other topics I can talk to with the other staff. I have a few more sports and stuff we can talk about up my sleeve. But yeah, I keep the skydiving hidden. And unless there's a couple of other people who I can tell are into extreme sports and I might think, hey, you might like this,
Sure.
then I might bring the topic up. But otherwise, it's totally kept on the down low.
Sure. Now, what type of nursing do you do?
Actually, how do I explain it? I work at a very big hospital. I live in Cairns. Currently, I'm actually visiting Darwin, so I'm doing this interview from Darwin in the Northern Territory. However, I am based in Cairns, which is in far north Queensland in Australia. I work at a busy hospital and I go to every ward. I go to all different areas. I kind of backfill the sick leave. I backfill whenever there's staff deficits. So I go from areas to the nursery, like the newborn babies, all the way up to the ICU, the intensive care patients. And yeah, I sometimes go offsite and do wound care clinics around the community or do remote contracts in different towns. It's just I am flexible with where I work as a nurse. In return, I get the lifestyle, I get the days off I want because I'm willing to go to almost any area in nursing. In return, I get the days off I would like, and that's
Nice.
what suits me, my days off. Yeah.
I've known a few different nurses throughout my time in the sport, and the most notable of which was a good friend in Cross Keys back in the day in 2004, 2005. And he worked as an ER nurse in like the most hectic hospital in that area. And he would come in, and you know how skydivers are. We all tell our stories, and everybody's seen some things in skydiving, but he would show up and we would sit down like kids around a campfire while he'd tell us stories about, having to put his coffee down so he could stick a finger in someone's gunshot hole, and all of these things. So we would go to him for the exciting stories before we went out and did the boring shit like jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah, agreed. Both skydiving and nursing keep me entertained. That's true. I pick up shifts in the emergency department as well. That's very entertaining. It's also just my job. I go there,
Yep.
do my work.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
it was also
yeah.
quite
I
handy
usually
having him around because after a long weekend of going way too big, he would always be known to show up with a few IV bags with happy vitamin juice to wake you back up. Like vitamin B12 was a big thing at our drop zone.
Yeah, it's important. I'm glad someone is making sure the skydivers are taken care of. We've
Oh
got to
yeah.
look out for our friends.
So, how did you get started in something not necessarily skydiving, but in anything so-called extreme?
Okay, so let's rewind back to my childhood. I I I was probably a liability to my parents, starting with climbing up balconies and jumping off them. Just a lot of climbing. Whenever there was a trampoline, I'd jump on it. I'd take all the opportunities to find, and I'd just be so active. Anywhere I went, I found something to do. And the best thing my parents did was actually enroll me in gymnastics lessons. This gave me the opportunity to tumble, flip, swing on the bars, and it just let me out. Like I felt like a little lion being let out of a cage. Yeah. So, yeah, I always continued on undertaking uh, the sports and high energy activities during school and into my adult life. As an adult, I got into wakeboarding, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, roller skating. I take dancing lessons, and eventually skydiving. How I got into that is 7 years ago. One of my close friends, her partner at the time was a tandem instructor, and they offered me a tandem skydive. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was hanging out with them afterwards, and they said, "You know what? You'd fit right into this community."
Uh,
And I said, "Tell me more." They said, "This is how you go get your license." And they networked me with a local drop zone near Cairns, called Sky One in Innisfail. So 2 days later, we're on. I was doing my AFF.
that's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
it sounds
thank
like the
you.
sport was kind of tailor-made for you regardless. I mean, it's it's funny because you know how it is right now that you're in skydiving, you'll get someone that you know enjoyed the jump at least to some degree, and it's always the you're a natural, you'd be great at this, always the sales pitch, but every once in a while you actually mean it. You're like, this fucking person is a jumper, they just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so good. It's definitely been a sport that I've stuck to for the last 7 years. I've always been into those really energetic, active sports, and this just aligned perfectly. None of my family really do these kind of sports, so I'm really glad that I was introduced to it from friends.
So you're obviously when you started skydiving, you were already well into nursing. Were you a working nurse at the time?
Oh, yes, I've been a nurse for 13 years now. So, and I've been skydiving for seven. So,
Okay.
definitely been a nurse longer.
So
Yeah. And I've
you're a
stuck.
working nurse. You have yourself on a respectable, normal, real world path. What does the family think when you uncork with hey, you remember all that stupid shit I used to do as a kid? Well, I'm going to do a much bigger version of that now as an adult. How did they take that?
They asked me to get life insurance. So, I've always asked them, invited them to come along for a bit of a skydive session. They've gracefully declined. Although, yeah, I it was quite funny. In 2022, I undertook my learn to base jump course, but I had signed up the year before that, and I didn't quite tell my parents what I was going to Europe for. I said, "Oh, yep, I'm going to Croatia." They're like, "Oh, that's lovely. There's the Spit and all these lovely beaches." And I'm like, "Yep."
So yeah, so you told them about the skydiving and they were okay with that, but you passed on telling them about base jumping.
Correct. Yeah. In 2022, I sort of just went to Europe. Like I had to tell them I was going to Europe. They're really happy for me. I was a customer of the wingsuit tunnel. So I went to the indoor wingsuit tunnel in
Yeah.
Stockholm. So that was what I told them the most adventurous thing would be. The indoor wingsuiting at Stockholm.
S-
And they're like, sorry. Yeah.
No, no,
Then they're
please.
like, yeah. Then they're like, okay, where else are you going? I was like, oh yes, Croatia, Italy, Switzerland, which is all part of the Learn to Base Jump course, destinations where you start jumping off bridges, then Brento, which is the overhanging cliff, and then you go to Lauterbrunnen in Switzerland. So yeah, I just kept telling them I was going to these lovely destinations around Europe, but didn't tell them the specifics of the agenda.
So I'll back you up just a little bit. You go out, you do your first tandem, you get straight into AFF because you're hooked pretty much right away. Obviously, the
Yeah.
beginning of your skydiving career went pretty well if you ended up pushing towards, base jumping in relatively short order.
Uh, I mean, base jumping was fun. It was like a little roller coaster. It's like going on a pretty thrilling roller coaster. I've only done 60 base jumps, so I'm still like a very baby base jumper, and I haven't done many in Australia. It's not the easiest terrain to keep current with. So my if I need to go back to Europe and get back on that bridge in Croatia. Really, I kind of need to reset and get current again. So I haven't actually stuck to base jumping as much as I would have liked to. It's still on the agenda for the future. Yeah,
It's
I'll get
funny
back
because
there.
I just had Jeff Weatherall on, and he's funny because he's the exact opposite of you because he's done most of his base jumping in Oz and has yet to ever make a European trip, and he's full on into base jumping. So it's kind of funny, and I know you know of him, and I'm sure you guys know each other at least in passing. But it's pretty wild that as a baby base jumper, you've got more experience in Europe than Jeff does, and he's far from, just starting out.
That's so funny. I get along with Jeff. I really like him. I saw him at about a month ago. Yeah, I did organize an event a month ago called Booster Wings, and he did come along to that. Yeah, so he's lovely to catch up with.
Nice. Nice. Well, and it's funny because you guys have a lot in common. You said you used to wakeboard, and of course, he's the Jeff Weatherall from wakeboarding,
Yeah,
and the skydiving, the wingsuiting, and the base jumping. So I think that just kind of runs in Aussie Kiwi blood.
I think so too. A lot of the skydivers yeah, they wakeboard, they motorbike. Yeah, there's a few of us that sort of have sort of similar common sports. And
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, every time, honestly, sincerely, every time I see somebody doing something I think is pretty mental, and then I find out that they're Australian, I just naturally think, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that's just an Aussie. Yeah.
Just an Aussie. I mean, Matt Munting was a good friend, and my lord, Matt Munting was full on with fucking everything, and I don't think you could actually get more Australian than Matt Munting.
Probably. Yeah, probably not.
No, no, no. I had never heard anyone use the word frothin' before and have it sound totally natural coming out of their mouth.
Oh, it's proper. He's nailed it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh
we have
yeah.
a lot of frothing moments.
Absolutely. So, when you got through your beginning progression in skydiving, how quick was it before you knew you wanted to aim towards stuff like wingsuiting? Because I mean, I know that that's very popular in social media and all that kind of stuff today, but on the drop zones, I find that they tend to try and slow people down a little bit. So, how did that start for you?
How did I start wingsuiting? Well, I was just at a general boogie called Tight Ass, which was held at my local drop zone maybe 3 years ago.
The tight ass
Yeah,
boogie?
Tight Ass. Yeah, it's the cheapest jump tickets in Australia.
I like it.
And yeah, thanks. So it just, yeah, that's what we advertise it as, the cheapest jump tickets. Come along, have fun. So the wingsuit coach was there. His name's Michael Smart. We call him Woody. And there was a suit. I was interested for a few months prior. You have to source a suit and a little bit of equipment. So I managed to source a Birdman original, not knowing anything whatsoever. And I completed the course. It was so funny because the leg wing was just like flapping, not even inflating, and it was almost what I felt like a belly jump was. Just the fabric was so old, but nonetheless, I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do more of this.
Isn't it funny how you just naturally tend to gravitate in skydiving toward disciplines that just get you off?
I couldn't take the suit off, and so eventually I bought a better suit, an Intrude Air Piranha, which is also a novice suit. I stuck to that, and then kept going to as many events as I could, and got into an ATC, which is an intermediate suit. As I've said, I've been to the tunnel, upskilled there, and I also, I wanted to get so much better at wingsuiting. I actually started organizing my own wingsuit camps and coaches coming to my drop zone because we don't, in the time that I've been wingsuiting, there's been one wingsuit specific skills camp, but not many. So I found a gap in our system, in our wingsuiting skydive community, and decided to put on a camp, just take a risk, organize some coaches, leverage the cost of the coaches by asking participants to pay a registration fee. And it turned out great. It's turned out great.
I like that your solution to needing more coaching was to just set up a big event so that you could get more coaching, and if other people came, that's great.
Yeah, correct. Well, I've run, in my, as an event organizer, I'm coming up to my 3rd year as an event organizer. I've organized about 7 events now, but 2 of them have been wingsuit specific, and they have probably been my 2 biggest events that I've ever organized. So that's called Booster Wings. Booster Wings started last year. As I said, I just wanted to get better at wingsuiting, so I punched in some numbers to an Excel spreadsheet. I love a good Excel spreadsheet and pie graph, so I love organizing.
Well,
and then
you don't strike me as the type of person that likes to deal with much bullshit. You seem to like to get straight to it.
I do. I'm kind of a one-woman show in my organizing events.
But that's good, right? Because I mean, I hate to say it, for as much as I love skydivers, if you leave us to our own devices, we can be very difficult to get going. Even with as much as we love something, we're not always the best at cranking it up.
I have definitely learned that in the time of my short time that I've been event organizing. Just, I need to delegate a lot more so people are spoon-fed a lot more information, and then there shouldn't be any much more paperwork or questions needing to be asked when the event starts.
Sure. Well, I mean, to use a very well used saying, it's like herding cats sometimes. It can be very difficult to get us organized, and it's not a lack of desire by any means. It's just a lot of us are pretty fucking scatterbrained.
Oh yeah, I agreed. Yes, the messages I was receiving from some people, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it's definitely already explained in the information email. Like, I'm very punctual. I send out information emails. It's all on the event Facebook event page, everything. Your catering options, your camping options, who the coaches are, the dates of the event, when the meet and greet is, when the drop zone will be open for the warm-up jumps the day before, and everything is all nicely in front of you. Yet I still do get occasionally those people questioning me saying, oh, what's the coach lineup? And I'm like, it's right there.
Well, that's because you gave them too much information and they can't filter
Yeah,
through it. I mean, that's for those ADD skydivers that only read 2 words out of every sentence.
that's true. They're still my friends. I'll still be there for them. I'll still help them out. I just want to see people progress as well. Now that I've organized more events, it is frothing for me. Like I get frothy when I see people progress in their wingsuiting, when they start flying with more people, they start flying in their slot, they can do a transition, then they can fly in their back. I'm like, yeah, they can do this now.
Now, for you, what was the biggest part of your progression? Was it the ability to head to the tunnel, or was it just repetition and jumps, or like what led you to getting to the point where you were getting confident?
Oh, I don't think I'm confident yet. I still need to run more camps. I'm still planning another wingsuit camp for next year.
Well, it's good though, right? I
So
mean, that's the one thing every skydiver, every good skydiver says is you're never done learning, right?
no, you can ask 1,000 different people for opinions, and you might absorb only one or two of the ways that people deliver that message. So for the recent Booster Wings camp, I had 8 coaches and 1 camera fly, which was amazing because there were 8 very good coaches to deliver information to all the participants in their own way. And I'm hoping that the participants absorbed something.
Sure, sure. Now, you between running the camps and jumping yourself and learning yourself as well, you're also still having to manage a life in the real world. And it's a pretty hardcore life in the real world. I mean, I would imagine a lot of people just nursing is enough to pretty much wipe them out. So, where do you find that balance? Like, how do you manage being able to handle such a high stress work life and then an enjoyable but still high stress personal life?
That is actually a learned skill. So when I go into a high, it's not really stress anymore because I've actually learned a skill to be like cool. So when I walk into a so-called trauma, I stand near the door, I take a breath, count to 3, and then I walk in. Whereas, as a newer nurse, I would just walk straight in and be like, oh my gosh, what needs to be doing? This person's very like don't look very well. But now I have a learned skill. That's just my trick that I do. I stand at the door, take a breath, count to 3, and it gives me time to scan the room and absorb what's going on and where there's an area in need. So it's actually not stressful anymore whatsoever, because it's a learned skill how to handle those situations. And after work, I switch off. It's good. I haven't really ever been the type of person to bring work home.
Mm.
I don't. I think I used to. I used to as a newer nurse because I always wanted to improve. And now, I've built up my confidence. I've been a nurse for a few years, so I am good. I'm still learning every day, but I do switch off, and it's lovely. My outside of work life is very different to when I switch on and go to work. So it's just a learned skill that how to handle those situations at work. And I have introduced the whole like breathe, count to 3 in other situations outside of work now.
Well, I mean, especially in nursing, though, that's got to be an incredibly important skill because the only reference that I have is being a tandem instructor or an AFF instructor who has to exude confidence and knowledge to keep my students from losing their shit. But it's even more important when dealing with especially a trauma situation, having only been on the wrong side of traumas, dealing with a nurse that's clearly got his or her shit together and is nice and calm always calms me down, because the last thing in the world you want to do is look up at your nurse and see borderline panic in their eyes.
Agreed, agreed. And yeah, for some of us nurses, it's a learned skill. Maybe for others, it came naturally when they started working. For me, it didn't. And I don't remember how I learned that skill. I think someone taught that to me, or other people were talking how they deal with when they walk into a trauma or an emergency, and I must have absorbed it somewhere. I can't remember, but I'm passing it on to anyone who wants to try it if they need it. They need it.
Now, when you crossed over and into skydiving, you were already an established nurse. So do you think that your ability to handle high stress situations in nursing, did it make it easier getting into skydiving and learning in such a high pressure environment?
Yeah, possibly. Like now, yeah, but that may have come inadvertently. I wouldn't know.
Sure.
I had been a established nurse for a while, so yeah, dealing with those situations there, yeah, may have numbed me a bit, and
I mean,
being able
because
to then,
there's a lot of oh shit moments in skydiving, especially when you're learning, and then you step up to wingsuiting, a lot more oh shit moments, and then base jumping, some massive oh shit moments. But I would imagine that the ability to walk into a trauma room where the stakes are incredibly high and handle that had to give you confidence in your own oh shit moments.
oh, sure, and yeah, sometimes there's always a new oh shit moment, but it's definitely more in skydiving now than it is, I think, in nursing, because I've been a nurse for so long, and I'm still have yet to improve in skydiving. As yeah, a wingsuiter, as an event organizer, yeah, as I'm also an AFF instructor, so that also being an AFF instructor, taking my first ever AFF student was definitely yeah the oh shit moment. She had no idea. It was so funny. The girl had no idea it was my first. And then when I got down, I was like, thank you for being my first student. She's like, what? Your first?
I think every, because I'm an AFF instructor and tandem instructor as well, although not current, but I think every instructor out there remembers looking at their very first students, sometimes first 100 students, and realizing that you're more freaked out than your student is, but you cannot let them know.
Oh, totally. And my first student was hesitating on the door. I was on the camera step and she was hesitating on the door. I'm like, oh no, girl. Oh no. Like, what are you doing? Like, please exit, please exit.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then she kept like keying it, and I'm like, and then she just no key jumped.
Yep.
Like that'll do.
Yep. Yep. Well, that was like my very first ever tandem that I did. I didn't want to get my tandem rating. I was kind of forced into it by the drop zone that I worked at, and I got through the course, but I didn't enjoy the course at all. I got through the extra jumps you had to do with licensed jumpers, and then I was handed my first student. And of course, with your very first student, the only thing in the world I want to do is explain to you what you need to do to help not kill us. And they gave me a Japanese only speaking student that I couldn't fucking talk to. So it was an absolute nightmare. I couldn't explain to this guy. I was just a nervous wreck. And I remember landing from that one and then telling him through an interpreter that he was my first student. And he went from big smiles and grins to white as a sheet and just walked away.
That's so funny. Yeah, they gave us that in the AF training course, the no English speaking students. They could only say one word. Oh man, it was funny. It was funny because I knew the people doing the scenarios, but yeah, I haven't come across that in a live situation like yourself yet.
Yeah.
That would be, I don't know how I'd go. I don't
It's
know, I'd have to take a big breath.
It's definitely interesting. It was especially because an incredibly low time tandem instructor, I was still pretty dubious about my own skills. So not being sure of myself at all, and then knowing that I can't reassure my student in any way was just not not the great first jump.
No, I reckon you've nailed it. Yeah, I was even nervous, and this was a girl whose English was her second language, but it was good English, but still, it was yeah. I was more nervous, especially just like standing on that camera step, like I said, like, come
Yep.
on, girl, get out of the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you had mentioned that with your family, you had told them that you were going to Europe, and you were told them you were going to go fly in the wingsuit tunnel. Did you ever break it to them that you had started base jumping?
Yes, no. They saw it on a few posts actually.
Ah,
Yeah, I ran it on a few social media posts. So anyway, they did accept it, not by choice, and now they're actually really proud. And apparently, they tell all their friends about me over their cups of tea when go have tea with their friends. They're
that's
like, "Oh, I
funny.
have to." Yeah,
It
that's
reminds
very
me
funny.
of
So,
a story that Jenna Gigi told me when I had her on the podcast, because of course she's gone on to quite a bit of renown in hardcore wingsuit flying. And the first time her mother found out that she was wingsuit base jumping was when she was flying down the crack and going proper big. And her mother found out, and she's like, "Well, fuck."
yeah, I can sort of probably be on the same page as her with not wanting to tell. Her parents, she probably has reasons. Maybe they're similar to my reasons. But yeah. Anyway, now they're super proud, and they kind of show it off to their friends, like, "Oh, look what our daughter's doing," you know.
Now, as do you think you've got more of a chance of talking them into coming out for a tandem jump now that you're as established as you are, or are they just not ever having it?
No, they won't. They're supportive of it, and they're actually really proud. Because when I organised the recent wingsuit camp, it got a lot of hype and was on the news as well. So they're quite proud of the skydiving achievements I've done, but they won't ever. I doubt they'd never come to dance class with me. They'd never come skating with me. They'd never come wakeboarding with me, or skydiving, or base jumping. That's just that's my own pathway.
Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, I suppose the important part is that they support you in it and are happy that you're happy.
Yeah, they are really proud. They are really proud, especially yeah, they are really proud, especially because I at these events, I'm actually enjoying organizing events, and I'm progressing and getting better. And now they got a lot of reach on social media, so they're like, "Oh, that's our daughter's
Nice, nice. So as you get to this
event."
point where you're at and you're doing these events and everything, do you have goals that you're looking forward to? I mean, are there specific things that you're aimed for within the sport?
For me personally, I love seeing progression. I'm a skills camp and wingsuit enthusiast. Or I love angles as well, like movement jumps. So I really enjoy seeing people's progression, and then I enjoy the convenience of the drop. So of it, I just bring the event to me. I enjoy it being close to me. I don't exactly have uh, an end goal for myself personally. I just want to keep going and improving. Yeah, like I'm organizing an XRW camp next year, so I want to get better at XRW. So organizing
Oof.
one of them. Yeah. So and yeah, but no real goal. I just play it probably year by year. I just like have a 2025 idea of what I want to do, and see if it's and make it feasible.
And primarily your home drop zone is in Cairns?
So it's 2 hours south of Cairns. It's called Far North Freefall. That is, yeah, my home drop zone. So that's where I run, yeah, all of the events. I've run one event at another drop zone in a town called Innisfail, but all of my other events have been at Final Freefall in a town called Tully.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, I've been through Cairns and I've been through I had a good buddy that was a very active jumper for a long time named Brad Jones out of Coffs Harbor. So I've
Cool.
been all up through there, and then I have a very, very long time friend that is now a full-time instructor off of Rottnest Island off of Perth.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
fun. I visited Perth and I went to their drop zone called Hillman Farm recently and went to one of their events. Did a bit of wingsuiting there. So shout out. They're also a club like us. So shout out to their drop zone. They did a very good job this year.
now, are you a funny farm enthusiast?
I have been to Funny Farm. Yes, I am a Funny Farm enthusiast. I can't remember when went there. Maybe last year. Yes, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, I've had a number of people from out that way. Jeff, of course, Brian Grubb. I've had the Aussie Nitro Circus guys on. And of course, seeing all the images of the Nitro Circus motocross backflipping with canopies swooping and planes flying by, and Funny Farm just looks like one of those now iconic boogies that every year you're like, some shit's gonna go down at that place.
It's massive. The event I went to, that was the Gyro Boogie. It was last year. It must have been last year then.
Oh,
It was
the gyro
massive. They had
unveiling.
yes, yes.
Nice,
So that
nice.
was massive. Yeah. I can't remember how many people collectively there were 20 plus coaches though. It was pretty wild.
Had to
Yeah.
be. Had to. Well, I had a chance to talk to Lucy because the podcast is sponsored by Gyro. So I had found out all about it, and we were doing all the logo stuff and changing everything over. And it was keep your mouth shut until after this event, and then tell the world.
Oh, yeah, well, that's right. And as a participant, yeah, it was called the Gyro Boogie, but then we found out at the event it was the unveiling.
Yeah, it was super cool too. And I mean, I've been working with them for quite some time, and I'm an incredible fan of the company. I don't care what they call themselves; they're just fucking awesome. And Chris Stewart and Lucy and Attila and that whole gang there just have such this fun vibe. And any company whose motto is "fuck yeah" wins.
Yes, agreed. That's so cool. I love it. It's printed everywhere. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
signature now.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that
Yeah.
was the thing. Even when I was still a young skydiver, when they were just getting started, I had NZ Aerosports stickers, having never flown one of their canopies, just because it was NZ Aerosports. Fuck yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's so true because it
yeah,
says fuck you all over it.
yeah. They absolutely had me, and they still do. I absolutely love working with those guys.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So, tell me about events that you've got coming up, any camps that you might have coming up, and any recommendations. And then tell me how people can come out and do everything from AFF jumps with you to doing some wingsuit jumps to even finding out what your base jumping stuff is about. How do they find you?
So, okay, so we'll start with the upcoming events once again because I ran the event called Booster Wings. And I'll sort of rewind a bit here because that actually links in with my social media. Not that I'm very popular on social media, but Booster Wings actually started last year. As I said, I wanted to get better in wingsuiting. So I asked 3 coaches could they come and coach on these same dates. And they all said yes. And I was stoked. And then once I put out the retro, well, the hard thing was finding a name for the event. So the event's called Booster Wings, but my drop zone's called Farnell Freefall, and I really didn't want to name it something boring like Farnell Freefall Wingsuit Camp. So I was like, oh, what do I name it? And I thought of okay, my social media name is Booster Chick, and I was like, oh, YOLO, I'll call it Booster Wings. And then so I named it Booster Wings, and after I advertised it, I was like, oh fuck, what if this fails? This is my signature. This is my social media name. I was so nervous. Anywho, more people than I expected more people than I expected registered for it, which resulted in me onboarding another coach. And then I still even needed more coaches because it was like this event just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got too many participants, not enough coaches. So I hit up the indoor wingsuit tunnel in Stockholm because I was a customer there. I met the team, I met the management. I actually wrote them a poem in Swedish with the help of my friend and said, can you please sponsor my event? This is all in Swedish. And to my shock, they said yes.
That's awesome.
And so this resulted in the world wingsuit acro champion Arvid Endler flying over to Australia and coaching at my event last year. And from that, there must have been more hype. And our friends were saying the booster name has to stick. It's a signature. This year I drafted Booster Wings 2.0. And overnight there was 13 registrations by the end of the week. There was 26 people registered. Altogether, there was 48 participants. The coach lineup including Tahi Munro, Ben Dicko, originally Sam Hardy, but unfortunately Sam Hardy couldn't make it. John McGregor, Michael Smart, which we call Woody. Who else? Oh, in the background, I was talking to the wingsuit tunnel. And once again, they decided to get on board and flew Tomic Klasniak over. And he's an Aussie as well who wingsuits and is now working in the Stockholm Tunnel. I've got Jimmy Mansfield, Scotty Patterson, and my camera flyer, Alex Newton, and there's Ben. There's so many more. There were 8 coaches altogether. I hope I've named them all. So that's definitely going to be a repeat event. And that event got a lot of hype as well. So I'll show you. That one has a logo now of a banana dressed as Buzz Lightyear. So we've got a little logo for that, and a few of us got it tattooed on ourselves. So that one is definitely going to be a repeat event. If you want to come and visit and be part of the events, I'm running more skills camps this year. I'm running vertical camps, angle camps, XRW, wingsuit camps. And I don't know, I'm not really on social media, so just come visit.
And now, what's the drop zone again? And if you know the website for that drop zone, pass that on as well.
Well, Far North Freefall. It's called Far North Freefall as well. And the website, farnorthfreefall.com.au, but we're on Instagram, Far North Freefall. I mean, I am on Instagram. My name is Booster Chick. But yeah, you can contact, I suppose, me there about information for events.
Awesome.
I also do have admin access to the Far North Freefall Facebook page, so I can answer any questions there. And I'm actually the secretary at the club. It's a volunteer-run club, so I am a volunteer, and behind the scenes, I do the secretarial work, organize the committee meetings, agendas, answer the information inquiries. So even if you send an email to info@farnorthfreefall.com, I receive it. So that's how you can get in touch and come to any of these events coming up. And with AFF, we're actually in an off season at the moment because it's coming up to cyclone season. So we will start again in May, June-ish. So in June, we'll have our first course. Email info@farnorthfreefall.com if you're interested. If you've got a friend interested in doing AFF. Or even wingsuiting. Like, I can connect you with some wingsuiters around Australia if you come visit. Maybe if you're not even visiting me, like I know a few wingsuiters around Australia. I can help you get some coaching wherever you choose to visit. Yeah.
My Lord, it's a damn good thing that you seem to be incredibly high energy, because you got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I know. I was actually I'm actually visiting another drop zone. That's why I'm in Darwin. I'm actually visiting another drop zone right now called Darwin Parachute Club. We know it as DPC. And so they had their skydive Christmas party. It was so hyped. I love this drop zone. Shout out to them because they're another small club and they're run by volunteers. So I know what it feels like. I like supporting small clubs.
Sure.
So yeah, they just ran an epic Christmas party and they've actually got a big event coming up next year too. So keep an eye out for their events as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Anna, I'll tell you what, especially considering how insanely busy you are, I'm so stoked that you had the time to sit down and have a chat with me and tell people what's going on with you. Because, I mean, holy shit, if I was as busy as you, all I would do is sleep on my off time.
I get a little bit of sleep. Yeah, I sleep sometimes. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Well, hey, all the best of luck on the next events and the upcoming events and all that stuff. I'm stoked to see what you got going, and I'll look forward to seeing what you got coming up.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You take care.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Airsports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the extreme sports collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available, hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or The Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.